The purpose of my presentation is to explain to you what teachability is, how I demonstrate this quality, and how others like you can demonstrate teachability. John Maxwell discusses how the desire to grow makes a successful leader in the chapter about teachability. He talks about Charles Chaplin, who ends up signing the movie industry's first $1 million contract. When Chaplin first started performing, he only made $150 a week at Keystone Studios. Born into poverty and eventually living in the streets as an orphan, $150 meant a lot to Chaplin. A year after working at Keystone Studios, he signed the $1 million contract. He was the most powerful filmmaker in the world because he had teachability. He would sit in during having one of his pictures presented to an audience and take notes at what they did and did not laugh at. He kept learning even when he was the most powerful filmmaker. The purpose of this topic is to emphasize the effects teachability has on being a successful leader by continuing to grow, overcoming your stress, swearing off shortcuts, trading in your pride, and never paying twice for the same mistake. As Maxwell states, if you want to be a champion tomorrow, be teachable today. John Maxwell defines teachability as being able to continually grow and learn in your field. As a leader, we must understand the importance of having teachability as a leadership quality and how that will benefit us and others around us. As a leader, we must be able to identify our mistakes and continually strive to learn and grow from them. If we want to grow, we have to remain teachable. Being an effective leader, you must continue to grow because the day you stop growing is the day you forfeit your potential and the potential of others. You must be able to overcome your success, meaning you know what made you successful, but now you must continue to do more. Teachability is also being able to swear off shortcuts, because like Maxwell says, everything of value in life, you pay a price. Building off of this, effective leaders will be able to admit when they are wrong. Finally, an effective leader must never pay twice for the same mistake. You cannot keep making the same mistake and continue learning from it. You must make the mistake, forget it, and remember what it taught you. One example of teachability that I have been faced with includes incident and accident situation recaps with my students. After incidents and accidents happen in the facility, I always recap with my supervisors on what happened, why did it happen, and how they reacted. Since these situations do not occur frequently in our facility, mistakes are going to be made. Having this recap and letting the supervisor identify their mistakes is showing teachability. They reflect on how they handled the situation. If they handled it wrong, we would talk about a more effective way to handle it if it was to occur again. Why should leaders have this quality, teachability? Why should you keep growing and becoming and stay teachable? You should do so because your growth determines who you are. Who you are determines who you attract, and who you attract determines the success of your organization. Finally, if you want your organization to grow, you must remain teachable. So you're probably wondering how I demonstrate teachability. This time last year, I was looking for a graduate assistantship to help pay for my master's while also gaining new transferable skills. I was also working as a building manager at University Recreation, also known as the Campus Center. I knew everything the manager position entailed, and I thought what I knew as a building manager would make my transition to a graduate assistant a smooth one. I was wrong. My first few weeks as a graduate assistant this past August, I was making mistakes left and right. I had never managed a staff of 60 students, and so I was not an effective leader to my students. One thing I would not do is admit my mistakes. I would not look at other ways to effectively lead my staff, until one day I sat down and asked myself how I could get better in leading my staff. I had to become teachable, and I did. I observed how I reacted, I admitted to my staff my mistakes, and presented other ways I was going to improve. I tried new things. I tried incentives, shout-out emails, and providing more shifts to my students. Finally, I began to follow blogs about campus recreation and situations that occur in the field. You can demonstrate teachability by observing how you react to your mistakes. Ask yourself if you admit to your mistakes, And do you apologize when it is appropriate? Or do you become defensive? Summed up, you can observe yourself and even ask a trusted friend or coworker what they think you do. Take a second and ask yourself, when was the last time you did something new for the first time? Then go out of your way to do something new and different. This will allow you to stretch yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically. Reflect back to a change you faced. In the end, the challenge changed you for the better. If you want to demonstrate teachability, try something new and grow. Finally, you can demonstrate teachability by learning in your area of strength. Continue to grow in your expertise so you can learn, become more teachable, and teach others. In conclusion, being teachable is continuing to grow and learn. Your growth determines who you are. Who you are determines who you attract, and who you attract determines the success of your organization. To be an effective leader, you can observe how you react to mistakes, try something new, and even continue to learn in your area of expertise. After bull rider Tuff Headman won his third world championship, he did not celebrate. He started the whole process over again. Headman stated, "The bull won't care what I did last week. In order to be a champion tomorrow, be teachable today."